Now, I know this is potentially my first video back, but it's time that we have some uncomfortable conversations. Let's talk about solo leveling, aka oral farming the anime.
You are looking at a legend in the flesh. Fresh about the kitchen to the check. Blue quarter king on the set. Hold up.
Alright. Now, before I even sit here and critique solo leveling, because I'm not going to talk bad about it, but I am going to critique, solo leveling isn't bad at all, but it does have its shortcomings, which is, obvious, no anime is perfect, except Full Metal Alchemist, but we ain't there yet. Now, before any of the solo leveling things even come from me, just hear me out. I'm not hating. I like solo leveling. Actually, I love it. But that doesn't mean we can't talk about its flaws too. So let's break it down. Alright, so let's start with the positives. Solo leveling is fire. That's it, period. The animation is top tier. The fights are beautifully choreographed. Jinwoo, that's a good main character in my opinion. Is he kind of flat? Yes, but he's still a great main character. It's a fast-paced, entertaining, and visually insane anime. Honestly, it does everything that it sets out to do, and it does it really well. But alright, let's talk about what we're missing. Now, I wouldn't say that the things I'm about to name are bad, but I will say that these things are just critiques, Critiques don't necessarily have to be bad, it's just what's kind of missing. So, let's just say that these things, the things. First off, the plot is very rinse and repeat. Wake up dungeon, fight, level up, and repeat. And personally, I don't mind that. It works, but it's a common complaint I've seen, and I understand. The biggest issue, nobody really matters but Jinwoo. Like, give me 5 characters right now without Woo. I got you. Hold on. I'm gonna give you some. Hold on. Go Gun Hee, Yujin, if I'm not wrong, Yujin, Cha Hae In or something like that. Go Gun Hee. I'm not even looking at scripts. Stop playing with me. That's 4 characters. Okay, hold on. But anyways, that's just my whole point. That we can't really name a lot of side characters, And we've seen, with stuff like Naruto and stuff like One Piece, we see that side characters can be important, and they are important. There's no like irrelevant side character. There are some, but that's basically every side character in solo leveling. And we see cool characters like I named Go Gun Hee and other S rank hunters, but they just fade into the background. What's the point of giving these characters even a name or a platform or anything if we're not going to learn anything about them? And what about like double awakenings? We see that Jinwoo has a double awakening, and we see that it's happened before or it's talked about. So like, who else has one? Like, the concept is awesome, but like I said, who else has one? It's not really expanded on, and it's such a missed opportunity in my opinion. But keep in mind that I'm not all the way done with the manga, so maybe something else is to be found out. But I'm just saying this now because this is what I've seen in the anime. I'm kind of strictly talking about anime, and this might be my most controversial point, but it is kind of irrelevant in the point that we have it. But animation, if solo leveling had mid animation, no one would really be hyping it up like this. Like, the animation, I hate to say animation carries, but it does in a sense of, it's lacking where, the animation picks up where other things are lacking. Now, let's talk about y'all fans. Now, I don't need to be seeing all this solo leveling as peak fiction top 5 of all time. I don't see too many of y'all, but I still do see y'all. Don't think I don't see y'all. So, in my opinion, solo leveling is not top 5. It's not even close, and that's okay. It doesn't need to be. It's fun, it's flashy, it's action heavy, and it's kind of like a turn your brain off anime. Your characters are very surface level, even Jinwoo, for being honest, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being basic, honestly. I don't need a deep philosophy or a crazy plot twist from Solo Leveling. I just want to see Jinwoo oral form, and that's simple. That's all I really ask for, which is fine. Now, let me talk about haters. Now, there's a lot of haters of Solo Leveling out there just because of how popular it is. Now, I see a lot of people saying it's way too simple and all this stuff, but we like anime like, and any starter anime, you know what I'm saying? If we put anybody on a starter anime, most of the time it's gonna be basic. Death Note, I'm not saying it's like surface level, but Death Note is basic. It's a basic plot. It's a kid who gets a Death Note and he believes he's the god of the new world. You know what I'm saying? It's a very easy concept to grasp. Just like Solo Leveling is a concept to grasp. It's very easy, and there's nothing wrong with that. Alright, so let's talk about these Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Solo Leveling is up for Anime of the Year, going head to head with Frieren, Dandadan Kaiju number 8, Delicious in Dungeon, and the Apothecary Diaries. Excuse me if I said that wrong. And in my opinion, the only real contenders, this is just for me, are Frieren, Dandadan, and Kaiju number 8. I really didn't see anything about Delicious in Dungeon, but that's at the end of the day, that's just me. Or the other one. I really don't want to butcher the name, so I'll just put a graphic or whatever. But let's be honest, neither Frieren, Dandadan, nor Kaiju number 8 had the impact that Solo Leveling had, or the grip on the animated community that Solo Leveling had. Every Saturday, everybody's locked in, including me. It surpassed One Piece in popularity and ratings on Crunchyroll, and on Crunchyroll specifically, and that's crazy at the end of the day. Now, before y'all twist this, I am not saying Solo Leveling is better than One Piece. One Piece clears. It's not close. But at the same time, I'm saying that the impact Solo Leveling had this year is completely undeniable. One Piece has 21 seasons and decades of legacy, and is on a 6-month break. But it's back by the time I post this. But it was on a 6-month break when Solo Leveling came back or surpassed it. All I'm saying is, One Piece has had tons of time, and I don't know how long it's been on Crunchyroll, but it still has a league ahead of it. It still has a lot of time ahead of Solo Leveling. So the fact that Solo Leveling with 2 seasons and maybe 3 years, I think it's 3 or 4 years that Solo Leveling has been out. For even to come close to One Piece or even pass it in ratings and popularity on Crunchyroll, I think that's crazy. Now, as I said earlier, One Piece is on a 6-month break, but it's still crazy that Solo Leveling managed to trend, dominate, and keep people excited week after week. So yeah, personally, Solo Leveling is my anime of the year, in my opinion. I haven't finished Frieren yet, and Dandadan and Kaiju number 8 are cool, but they didn't hit like Solo Leveling did for me, and that's all this is, my opinion. You don't have to agree, and I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. I just wanted to talk about it, all of it, the good, the flaws, and the hype. And most importantly, Aura Farming has never looked so damn good. We back, baby. Oh, and this is a post-production kind of thing. I see that Solo Leveling is not coming out to 2028. Y'all are out your damn minds. Now, this is what I will say right here. I don't know if the hype's going to carry all the way to that's 3 years from now? Yeah, y'all are insane. But to each their own. I'll be watching.